first of all, I have to ask, from a personal point of view, as much as a team, how much did you enjoy that one last week?
Oh yeah, look, it was a great result for us. Personally, it was good to be back out there. Obviously, I had a 4-week layoff there, and then it was a perfect game for me coming back. Obviously, playing against Wigan, you've got to be on your A game, and I was pretty happy with how I performed, but more so the team. I thought, we showed we're at that level and we can compete at that level. It's just maintaining that now, week in, week out.
Yeah, how well are you feeling after coming back?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling myself again. It was just obviously a concussion there, and then just had a couple of symptoms after that, which wasn't great. But but back to my normal self now, and ready to rip in.
Given how much is done in terms of protecting players now and the research as far as head injuries and things like that, how well managed did you feel now compared to, we hear all these stories from days gone by. How well managed did you feel with it?
Oh, look, I was really well managed, even, from getting stretchered off the field to, sent to hospital, and then the staff here really looked after me and, genuinely cared for me. There was no pressure to play or train, and obviously I went and seen the specialist, and he ruled me out there one of the weeks. But yeah, no, everyone was great with me at the club, and it's good. It's positive. There's a lot of, like you said, a lot of people talking about the brain injury stuff of the game, and it is a serious matter. And it's something I've definitely realised as I've got a bit older. Is you do only get one brain, and you have to take care of yourself. So look, it was frustrating to miss a few games there, but it was the right thing in the end.
Of course. Is it something you ever find yourself worrying about, or is that probably the worst thing you can do as a professional sportsman and certainly someone in a game like rugby league?
No, personally, I've never worried about that. I was a bit rattled after the game, when I had a bit of dizziness and migraines for a while there, but like I said, I'm back to myself now, and I know I get the best care here and looked after in that regard, so it's just straight back to work. These things happen. We play a contact sport, and unfortunately, lads are going to receive concussions.
Of course. Well, it's good to see you back, and glad things are looking well on that side. Did you cop a bit of flack from those who once loved you in a Wigan shirt?
Actually, I'm not too sure. I might have had a few boos here and there, but I was kind of just dialed in on the game, and just wanting to really perform well for the club, and we did that, so it was happy days for us.
What was the key to the manner of the win?
I just think our physicality from the start of the game. We're going to have a real big pack, and if you don't stop them boys moving forward, then you have to defend on the back foot with the likes of Jay and Bevan, and that's when Wigan trouble teams. So we knew from the start our middles had to match their middles, and we're good with the ball. We throw some nice shape, and we know we can post points, but it's always just defend for us, and and that'll be the same moving forward against every team.
Does it show where you are as a team that Willie was still frustrated that you conceded late on as well?
Yeah, no, look, Willie just wants the best out of us constantly. He's always challenged us to improve, and even we just beat Wigan, which is a great result for the club. But we was in here a few days after, and we was reviewing, how can we get better? How can we stop them tries? And that's Willie. That's just he demands success and 10 out of 10 effort areas, and as players we buy into that. We know I know personally that's what you've got to do if you want to win these trophies at the back end of the year. You've got to be close to being perfect week in, week out, and I think we're showing that. Obviously we had a disappointing result against Catalan, which was probably a bit of a blip. We've not really had a poor performance like that all year, I'd say, but it was good for us. It kind of we got a slap on the wrist, and then we was back into Wigan, which was perfect. Another big game coming up this week, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you about that because I know you've got a couple of games before this, but as far as Wigan, how nicely does that set it up for that semi-final in a couple of weeks' time?
Oh, look, like I said, it was a great result, but in a few weeks they're going to be coming a lot harder. Obviously, playing there, I know how they'll go about the business leading up to that game, and again, it's going to be another tough challenge for us. But like I said, we've shown now we can prove it. We can play at their level. We can, win against these big teams, and that should give us a lot of confidence. And yeah, looking forward to the challenge and the Challenge Cup.
I know it's still only the beginning of May, so it's still pretty early in the season. But as far as the overall season, how have you found it?
Loved it, mate. I'm absolutely loving my time here. That's outside of training as well. But no, more on the field. I'm a lot happier. I'm enjoying coming here to work every day, and made some good friendships here at Hull KR so far. And Look, it's exciting times. It's exciting times to be a player at this club. Things are going in the right direction, and that's all just through hard work from the staff to everyone involved in the club to the players. And yeah, it's positive. It's a good place to be around. You're happy at your workplace. You're happy off the field. So it's been great.
It all comes through the head coach, though. What's he been like to play under?
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's, like I said, he can challenge you a lot, but it comes from a good place. He only wants the best for you and the best for the team. So you have some intense one-to-one meetings with him, and he expects a high standard. And if you're not up to that, he'll make sure you know about it. But as a player, that's something I've always enjoyed, is having a coach who challenges me and pushes me to get better each week.
Because you've got that Wigan connection, do you have that odd bit of time to sit and talk about his time?
No, we've actually not. To be fair, we kind of just speak about the now. Willie, he doesn't talk too much about the past. He moves forward, and it's week by week, game by game. That's the usual chat we have from him.
Right. Speaking of Wigan connections, Joe Burgess signed an extended contract last week. Have you enjoyed being around him again?
Oh, it's been great. Like I said, we've been happy on and off the field. To get my best friend here at the club, it was amazing. And to see him play so well and have another big smile on his face, it's great. I know he really enjoys it here as well, and he's loving it.
Knowing him as well as you do, what has this move done for him?
Oh, look, I just think he's in an environment where it's similar to what we had at Wigan, where you come in, you do your work, you train hard, and you chill out afterwards. We've got a good group of boys here who like going for coffees or dog walks, golfing, whatever it is. So we're building a good culture here off the field, and I think you can see that with how the boys play. There's always a smile on the face, but we know how to switch it on when it gets serious, and that's Budge all over. He's a happy guy, and it's been great to see him playing really well.
How good's your golf game compared to his?
Mine's terrible. Mine's absolutely terrible. But I've actually not had a round this year. I'm waiting till it dries up a little bit more, and then I'll make an appearance. But I'm no good.
Fair enough. We'll not explore that one any further.
Yeah.
I could tell from that answer. Let's move on swiftly.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about someone else who has respect, not just within this club, but within the whole of probably rugby league, not just Super League. Ryan Hall has announced he's moving on after this season. What's he like to play with? Oh, he's the best, mate. It's been a real privilege to come here this year, and I'm quite gutted that he is leaving. Obviously, I'm only going to get this season, but just going to make the most of it with him now. I was, a young kid. Me and my brother used to love watching Ryan Hall. He was probably our favourite player, and to play with him now, and hopefully he'll get that record in the next couple of games. It's crazy. It's crazy to play with him week in, week out, and he's such a role model for everyone here and myself, and how he goes about week to week. He's phenomenal. As you said, that record surely, and we'll try not to put the mockers on it, but it's surely not too far away. How deserving will he be of it? Oh,
like I said, he'll probably go down as one of the best wingers of all time, and just for me personally to play a tiny part of that, a couple of assists here and there, I'm going to claim a lot more, I think. But he's the best bloke, mate, and everyone looks up to him, everyone listens to him when he speaks, and you just hold him in such high regards.
Okay, let's move on to this one with St Helens then. As a former Wigan player, how much do you look forward to facing them? Yeah, it's always the best game of the year for me. From a young lad, it's always been that way. Wigan Saints, it's ingrained in you from a young lad. So it'll be different, playing for Hull KR, but the same mentalities there. Is you got to get stuck into them, and look, if we can put two good performances against Wigan and St Helens, I think we're sending a good message across to the rest of the league that we are serious about competing at the back end of the year. It's exciting times. These are the games you want to play in as a player, and can't wait to get going. What have you made of their start, and particularly defensively? A lot's been made about the fact they've shipped only 70 points, one of only 3 teams to do that after 9 games in Super League. What have you made of them?
Yeah, look, Saints are an outstanding team. They've probably not played as well at the start of this year as previous years, but when you turn up to St Helens, you've got to be on your game to beat them, and I think that shows, like you said, with the defence they're a real tough team to break down. But we're a real good team attacking as well, and I think we've shown that last week. We're going to have a really good defence, but we managed to break through there a few times. So bring it on, bring the challenge on. I know all the boys are looking forward to it and ready to rock Saturday.
How do you become the exception to the rule then, as far as putting points on them, which others haven't?
We've just got to play our game. We know our system works, our structure works. Willie's really smart in that. He does a lot of video with us, and it's just up to us then to go down and post them points. It's not going to come easy, we know that, but we stick to the game plan for the full 80 minutes. I'm pretty sure we can put a few good points on.
I know it can become a bit cliched in sport to talk about home advantage and home crowds and fans and everything else, but we know how good, particularly the East Stand, but Craven Park as a whole, and in a game like this, on a day like this, how helpful and how big a boost can that be? Oh,
it's massive. I've absolutely loved playing at Craven Park. It's the atmosphere it's unbelievable, and it's weird being on this side of it now, because obviously I've come here and played as an away team before, and you're right, it does affect you as a player. When that crowd's roaring and you're not going so great, things can seem to not go your way, but I think as the home team, you do have that bit of an advantage, and you kind of have that pride. It is your home ground, and you don't want to disappoint the fans, and that's something Willie spoke to us about all year, and something we've all bought into, and I think you can show that.
Best of luck with it. Cheers for your time.
Thank you, mate.
Top man.
Ollie, how you doing?
Hey, mate, you okay?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. I was just going to ask you about Ryan a bit more. You mentioned about your brother and you and him being your favourite player. How does your brother feel about you playing with him every week now? Is he a bit jealous?
Yeah, he loves it. To be fair, my brother's moved over to Australia the last couple of years ago now, so I only really chat to him on FaceTime, but he's always sending me clips if I do give Ollie an assist, or Hawley gives me one. He's always messaging me after the game. He was an absolute fanboy, my brother. He absolutely loved Ryan Hall, so it's pretty cool for him now to see that we get the chance to play together.
Did he ask you to get any signed autographs or anything like that?
Yeah, not yet. I might have to steal some of his boots out at the back end of the year.
Just on his departure, he's a proper club man, isn't he? And they command so much respect from his teammates. How did he go about letting you guys know that he's left? Because I imagine that type of guy he's the sort would want to do it on his own terms and do it the right way as well.
Yeah, we kind of just had a meeting a bit earlier than usual, so everyone was kind of thinking, what's going on here? And then he kind of just stood up in the team room and just let us know what his situation was. Told us that we've got the rest of this year to make sure we try and get something for him. I think that would be incredible if we could get some silverware and send Hawley off to Leeds next year. He's been a big part of this club in progressing the last few seasons, and it would be great to see him leave as another medal winner.
It's some motivation that for you guys. I know you don't need motivation, but just those little extras. When that's the message he delivers when he's leaving, that that's what he wants. Got like this 1 year.
Yeah.
You don't want to let a bloke like that down, do you?
Definitely not. No, and especially someone as big as Ryan Hall and how much he, like I said, carries across this team. Everybody looks up to him. Everybody respects him. He's our senior player that we can turn to for advice in any scenario. So there'd be nothing better, I know, for me personally than sending Hawley off with another trophy or another medal.
You said you're a bit gutted about it. Just how gutted were the lads, because he is his record speaks for itself, isn't it? You don't need to talk Ryan or look just how good is everyone that he's going.
Yeah, no, look, there's a lot of disappointment in the room, but we understand his decision and whatever's best for Hawley. We all back it, but it kind of. We don't really have time to mope around about the decision. It's we've got limited time left with him. Let's do everything we can to send him off a winner. And the boys have all bought into that, and that's something we'll probably speak about more towards the back end of the year. But as of now, it's just week by week, get that job done, try and tick another win off.
You mentioned Saints is your favourite game of the year. I think they're not your biggest fan, are they? St Helens.
No, I've probably not got too many supporters over that way, no.
It must be. Is it something that you can thrive off of that though? You mentioned Craven Park and how it can affect like you as a traveller.
Yeah.
It must be great almost having that though, because it's just something else, isn't it, to get behind and get motivated by?
Yeah, no, look, I've always loved it. Praise or getting stick, either or. this is why you play the game, don't you? You want to be playing at the highest level, and with that comes a bit of stick here and there. So for me personally, I've always just loved the challenge and loved that, kind of banter with the fans. If you do score a try and they're booing you, just give them a little wave, or if things aren't going great, then you feel the heat even more. So this is sport. This is why we love playing it. It's a game for the fans, and I'm just glad that I've got the stand here, backing us this weekend.
Is there any interaction that stands out? Over the course of time, I'm sure you've had.
Yeah, it was my first ever Wigan Saints game was at St Helens, and I was walking back to the sideline, and I just hear this like an old woman's voice, Gildart, Gildart. So I turned around, and she just sticks her middle fingers up at me and tells me to get gone. So I was only a young kid then, and I was like, right, this is what the Wigan Saints derby's about. But yeah, that one always sticks with me. But over the years, I've had plenty of abuse. But we love it.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
No worries, pal.
Hi, Ollie. It's Martin Sadley here from League Express.
Hey, Martin.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, mate.
Do you actually feel now part of Hull? Have you moved across to Hull?
I moved over, mate, in pre-season, so November. I was straight up here.
Right.
Moved in straight away, and I absolutely love it here. I was surprised myself, to be fair. Obviously, I've only ever lived in Wigan in this country, so it was a bit of a big move. But I've settled in really well. Love where we live.
Are you living in East Hull or West Hull or somewhere on one of the outlying villages?
I'm living somewhere near Cottingham, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with everywhere in Hull yet, but no, I love it here, mate. Really settled in well, and the missus is happy too. So it just it makes my life easier.
And the natives are friendly, are they?
They are. They've been real friendly. I've not seen too many FC fans in the supermarkets, but
well, they wouldn't say much at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
Just on this weekend's game, I won't keep you long because I think most questions have been answered probably. But this weekend, it'd be interesting because there are not many teams, I don't think, and I'd have to check on this, but there are not many teams that beat Wigan and Saints in successive weeks. And if you did, that would be a real feather in the cap of Hull KR, wouldn't it? I mean, obviously, not many teams play them in successive weeks, I don't suppose.
Yeah.
But when you do, if you could beat them both, that would be a hell of a thing.
Yeah, it would be really special. But like I said, with how the club's going now, and how we're performing, we're coming into these games expecting to win. Things are changing at the club where, years gone by, you're playing Wigan Saints and you're probably up for a good hiding. But how Willie's got the squad playing, and we're coming into these games now full of confidence, saying we can compete with these clubs, and I think last week showed that. And if we could do that again this week, then it's great. But no comps are won at this time of the year, and we know we're going to have to play all these big teams coming around at the back end. So it would be great to get another win, but it doesn't mean much as of this point in the season.
One of the things, though, that some people talk about, which characterises successful clubs, is what you would describe as a sort of winning culture.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to define what that means, to be perfectly honest. But it's one of those things where you can't define it, but you can probably recognise it when you see it.
Yeah.
And I just wonder whether you think that at Hull KR you are developing that mindset where you expect to win games now, rather than you're not just competing, but actually expecting to win.
Yeah, for sure. Like I just spoke previously, we beat Wigan there on the weekend, but we was in 2 days later reviewing it and looking at how we can stop them scoring, or how we can, post more points, and that's what this winning culture is about. It's all good winning games and thinking things are just going great, but it's winning games and reviewing it and seeing where we can keep going better, we can keep improving, and that's something Willie really drives hard into the team. And it's something everyone's buying into a lot more now, and I think you'll see the next few years that hopefully we can just keep going up and up and up.
And you understand the Wigan mindset probably more than most, because obviously you were there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Them losing last week and then playing you again 3 weeks later, I think it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
When the cup semi comes around, they'll be really motivated not to let you beat them again, I would think. And in one sense, beating them last week was the worst thing you could have done if you're going to beat them in the semi-final. But you'll have to you'll have to counter that, won't you? And
for sure.
Not let them think they'll get their own back, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. Like we've just spoke about turning up expecting to win. That is, what it's always been like at Wigan. Is you are expected to win week in, week out, and them coming here and not getting that result is only going to give Matty and the Wigan boys more fire for the semi-final, especially it being the Challenge Cup as well. That adds a little bit more. So we're going to prepare for the best Wigan team coming in a couple of weeks. But again, we know how to beat them now. We've proved we can do it. It's just can we keep doing it and keep performing, and I back the boys to keep going and putting in another good performance.
And of course, you come from a rugby league family, don't you? Your dad was a Wigan player.
Yep.
Do you get much advice from him? Are you, does he sort of ring you up, and say, you did this brilliantly, but just watch that and whatever?
To be fair, mate, when I was a lot younger, he used to coach me as a kid coming through, and then kind of when I broke through to the first team at Wigan, I think he just enjoyed taking a step back, and he'd still call me after every game. We'd have a couple of minutes chatting about, but I think he, end of the day, he just wants to be my dad now. He knows my life is just rugby, so he enjoys just talking things, outside of rugby and kind of leaving that to... Rugby's my work, and, my dad's my dad, and that's, kept separately, as much as we can do.
Yeah, and who would he be shouting for in the Cup semi-final?
He'll be shouting for me and Hull Kingston Rovers, for sure.
That's great to hear, mate. Okay, thanks a lot, and Oliver, and good luck this weekend, mate.
No worries, thank you, mate.